Hi, welcome in to 15 Autumn writing prompts from cozy to terrifying. We're gonna do some live writing sprints today. The plan is to do three 15-minute ones in between each of those sprints. I'm gonna stop and kind of talk about what I ended up writing, and I encourage you to do the same, whether you're joining live right now or if you want to drop it down in the comments if you're watching the replay. I think that's really all I wanted to say. I feel like I'm kind of dark, even though I swear I just went through all of this to make myself not dark. So let me see if I can fix that really quick, and then we will get on with things. If you are joining us live, feel free to introduce yourself in the chat. During the actual writing sprints, I probably won't talk a whole lot, but I will catch up on chat in between. And like I said, chat about what I wrote. While I'm writing, I'm going to keep my writing a secret behind kind of like a blurry filter, but I will reveal it at the end of the 15 minutes so that you can see what I actually wrote while we talk about it. So it'll be a little bit different if you've been watching the Inktober writing vlogs, where you don't get to see what I've written at all, you just get to hear me talk. I haven't decided how I'm picking which prompt I'm doing, but I will show you said blog post. Perhaps. Yeah, I will. It will cover my face, but I will show it to you. So you can find this down in the description, which you should be able to see live as well. I'm not used to streaming live on YouTube, so forgive me if this is not what you're used to when it comes to a YouTube stream. My streams are usually over on Twitch, but I haven't done that in a while. But yeah, you can find this over on my website. We have 5 different types of prompts, each with 3 prompts in it. One that is geared to being a little cozier, one that's kind of mysterious, and one that is geared to being more horror. And then, so we have like an idiom, turn of phrase, or words of wisdom prompt, a scene prompt, a 3 things prompt, a dialogue prompt, and a line to begin or end with. So we're gonna do 3 of these today. I think one of my favorite styles of prompts is this 3 things prompt. So I think we'll do one of these. Let's do... I think the plan should be to do one cozy, one cool, and one horrific. And maybe we just work through them that way. I don't know what that will leave us with, but I think I'm going to do a steaming cup of tea, sunflower seeds, and a fluffy black cat. Let's instead do that. Also, please let me know if like the music is too loud or too quiet. Yeah, I think we're ready to get going. So let me pull up the things that I need in order to do that. I'm also going to write the prompt here for myself. Alright, let me get all pulled in and get the keyboard in a place where I can actually write on it. Grab a sip of tea before we get going too. Still a little warm, but that's okay. Oops, I did it again. Alright. I'll see you guys in 15 minutes. Please feel free to join me in doing a writing prompt or working on your work in progress, doing some chores, being at your day job, whatever it is that you need a body double or co-working vibes for, do that. You don't have to write with me. Okay, here we go. 15 minutes. scared me. I'm gonna finish a few sentences here. Okay. Thank you for the love eyes, Mr. Red Rants. Welcome in. What am I doing? I'm showing you this. That's what I'm doing. So I wrote 570 words, minus 11, because, oh, I guess I can actually tell, oh, actually minus more than 11. Hold on. I can tell you how many words I actually wrote. 548 words. Now, how do I show this to you? Is this it? No. Is this it? No. Oh, this one. Aha. Aha. Alright, so the prompt was a 3 things prompt for anybody just joining us now. And the 3 things were a steaming cup of tea, sunflower seeds, and a fluffy black cat. Should I just read through what I wrote and then talk about it? Or should I talk about it and then do I even want to read through it? I don't know what I want to do here. I should have planned this. Basically, the story is of... It kind of started as a story of the cat, but the owner, like, got added to it. But only the cat has a name. So... Brains. Oh, so it started with, as you can see, a sunflower seed field where this, like, it's, like, late in the season, so the sunflowers have, like, kind of gone to seed. And it talks about a cat walking by with their owner, and then it talks about how the cat's on a leash, and then they kind of, like, sit down for a picnic, and she's reading a book. She had a thermos and poured herself a steaming cup of tea to get that 3rd thing in there, and then she, like, stops reading her book and she's enjoying her tea because it's cool enough to drink now. She's staring into the field and she kind of, like, loses herself and doesn't notice somebody coming up behind her until the cat kind of, like, brings her back to her senses. And then, like, as this person is walking, he also seems to be kind of out of sorts until he's, like, awkwardly close and then realizes, it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to intrude. And he actually just kind of, like, moves on, but, like, of course she's, like, a little worried about it. But they end up staying and reading for about an hour, and then they get up and they start walking home, and they, like, see this guy sitting and staring into the field. Yeah. I suppose I can read it to you. We can do a little bit of editing, just like the things that are popping up. Maybe. We'll see. So it says, in front of a large field of sunflowers turning to seed walks a fluffy black cat and her owner. The cat is on a leash and proudly sauntering beside her favorite person in the world. Her owner allows her to roam as free as she can while being on the lead. She says it's so the cat can't ruin the bird population, but the cat doesn't seem interested in that anyway. She prefers chasing bugs and sniffing the grass. Come on, Fluffy, there's a nice place to sit. The owner lays out a gingham blanket and puts her backpack down. I feel like backpack's one word. She ties the lead to the handle of her bag and lets the cat nestle into the sunny picnic spot. From the bag, the owner pulls out a thermos and pours piping hot tea into a mug. She places the mug between her legs while reaching back into the bag to retrieve a book. It's Dracula, and she's about halfway through, and the only reason that it's Dracula is because that's what I'm reading right now, and so this kind of comes back again. I'll keep reading. She opens the pages and removes the bookmark while Fluffy gently bats at its fringe. You silly goose, that's not yours. And she hides the book under the blanket. She takes a careful sip of her tea before realizing it's a little too hot to drink. She reclines against her backpack, holds the book in one hand, and gently strokes Fluffy with the other until it's time to turn the page. A few pages later, and Renfield makes an appearance within the words, and without fail, A fly shows up to buzz around the owner's head, and the only reason this line is in there is because twice it's happened that I've been in a part that's talking about Renfield, and a fly has shown up and just like buzzed around me and like landed on me and like just been annoying. And it's just like, if you know the story, you know that Renfield and flies are kind of like tied together, and it's just weird. And so as if saying, I got this, Mom, Fluffy swiftly stands, wiggles her bum, and launches herself at the fly. With no issue, the fly is gone, a tasty protein-filled snack. I feel like I should say something about, like, gaining the fly's, like, life essence. Thanks, Fluffy, the owner says with a gentle head scritch. She reaches back down to her tea, still steaming, but comfortable to sip. My gosh. This is why editors exist. And just editing your own work, of course. She returns to a seated position in order to enjoy the tea, and for a moment puts the book down, stretching the spine for the pages to sit open facing down, and stares into the field of sunflowers. Losing herself in the stalks and petals, she sips and breathes, and doesn't notice the other human approaching. Luckily, Fluffy does, and lets out a small meow, bringing the owner back to her senses as the man approaches. He seems lost in the field, just as she was. Not until he was awkwardly close did he stop and nearly jump out of his skin. Oh, sorry, I was just admiring the sunflowers. This is a beautiful spot for a picnic. It is, the owner replies curtly, unsure of the authenticity of his thoughtlessness in walking. I didn't mean to intrude. Enjoy your tea. Thanks. This word a little more friendly. Fluffy kept close to her owner's side throughout the interaction and only relaxed when he had taken a few steps away. The owner looked into her eyes as if to say, that was pretty weird, eh? And Fluffy let out a small meow before curling up again. The owner returned to her novel. They remained seated, soaking up the sun, for about an hour, and then packed up and headed home. On their way, they spotted the man sitting, staring into the field. Okay, so that's the first sprint down. I'm gonna send that to another page. And we'll pick another one. And also I'm gonna skip this break. Okay. Let's pull this guy up. So we did a 3 things. What's my next favorite kind of prompt? We could do an idiom, a scene, a dialogue, or a line to begin or end with. And we're looking for the cool and suspenseful one. I kind of want to do Today I Will Leave the House. And I feel like this is a really fun one both to end with and begin with. But I think we'll begin with it. Bam. I'm gonna put begin with, copy that, we'll get rid of that, we'll go into here, we'll do that. Realize that's kind of annoying to see up there, as in you can't really see it up there. My apologies for the last one. Alright, here goes our next sprint. Like I said before, if you are writing along with us, especially if you're doing some sort of writing prompt, whether it's mine or somebody else's, I'd love to hear what you got done in the first 15 minutes. And then again in the next one. Fuel up with some tea. I'm hitting start. Oh, I didn't put the filter back on. I'm supposed to see this yet. That's 5 minutes left. scared me again. Okay. So the prompt was to begin with the sentence, today I will leave the house. Word count was 527. And this is a story about a person who hasn't left the house in a while, and it was revealed to me through writing that they had like a surgery in the relatively near past, and that's like part of the reason, at the very least, why they haven't left. I don't know all of the specifics yet. There's probably a mental health portion of this. I was definitely getting the feeling that the main character is like lonely, like there's nobody around like helping take care of them, like they've been taking care of themselves after this surgery. Yeah, I don't feel like there's really much else to tell you about it, so I think I'm just gonna read through it. So it says, today I will leave the house. That's probably the wrong tense here. I pushed the blankets from my body, and yeah, it should be push. I push the blankets from my body and swing my legs over the side of the bed. I sit up. I lay back down, legs still swinging. I feel a gentle stretch in my abdomen as I relax into the position. Okay, well, today I will get out of bed. I sit up again and send the momentum through my feet and stand. That's progress, just one foot in front of the other. What else must I do before leaving the house? I walk to the bathroom, do the necessary, and then stare at myself in the mirror. I examine the wrinkles and marks on my face. I open my mouth and stare at my dirty, stained teeth. I cringe at the frizz that sits atop my head. Today I will brush my teeth and my hair. I grab the toothbrush and put a pea-sized dollop of paste on it. I breathe out deeply and begin brushing. Brush, spit, repeat, rinse. And now the hair. First, I just tried to run my fingers through it and they get stuck. Well, I can't leave the house like this. Hat or shave it. Hat, I guess. I return to my room with the intention of changing my clothes, but find myself curled up under the blankets again. Come on, you can do this. Today, I will stay out of bed. I lumber over to the closet and pull out jeans and a long-sleeve shirt. If I'm going to leave the house today, I'm going to need the warmth. The jeans don't fit. They sag off my body. The shirt looks fine oversized, but it didn't used to be. If I'm going to leave the house today, I'll need to fuel this body. So to the kitchen I go. Opening the fridge, I see condiments and not much of anything else. One meal replacement bottle remains from recovery. They aren't actually that bad, so I twist off the cap and take a sip. This is the furthest I've gotten in weeks. I actually put real clothes on. Maybe today I will leave the house. Like, actually. Just to walk around the park. Keep to myself. Just to walk. I sit on the couch to finish my breakfast. The next thing I know, 2 hours have passed and I haven't moved. I've fallen down a reels hole. I can do it. Today I will leave the house. I swing my feet and stand. My head immediately swims and I have to sit back down. Too much too fast. Sorry, body. I'll set a sitting timer. 15 minutes and then I'll get up and put my shoes on. The timer rings. I dismiss it. Slowly, I rise and walk over to the window. It looks sunny, but the wind looks strong. There are some dark clouds in the distance. What if it storms while I'm out? I open the weather app. 0 chance of rain. Oh, good. I can still leave the house today. I place the empty bottle in the bin under the sink and lurch toward the door. And that's where I got to. Spoiler alert, this person's not leaving the house today, and the last line is going to be, tomorrow I will leave the house. If I ever return to this to finish it, that's the idea. And obviously this needs like some fleshing out, and I'd probably do some outlining to figure out like all of the obstacles and also like fill in some backstory and stuff. This shows promise, I think. I think both of these showed promise, actually. Alright, we said 3 of these, so let's do 1 more. We're going to be picking from the horrific Halloween set. But what kind do we want? Do we want... do we want... Be sure the horns you are grabbing are bulls and not the devils? Probably this one actually. A room filled with trinkets, a single word uttered from an unknown source. He thinks his friend is pulling a prank. We can't do that one because we've already done one of that style. They say the heart is the only muscle that never tires. I'd like to test that theory. I'll give you to the count of 3. Run. Yeah, so I think we'll do the scene prompt, which is a room filled with trinkets, a single word uttered from an unknown source. He thinks his friend is pulling a prank. Alright, I'm going to hide my progress from you. Oops, I always do that instead of doing this, and it's very annoying. And then we're going to skip over the break because we don't need a break. We're not doing proper Pomodoros this time around. Again, please tell me what you got up to during those 15 minutes. Or if you're watching the replay, maybe wait until the end and then tell me what you got up to during all of the 15 minutes. But let's hit that start button. See you guys in 15 with a horrific Halloween story. 5 more minutes. Okay. That was a very dialogue heavy sprint. So, oh, I'll turn the, did it again. This is a really dialogue heavy sprint. It's a story about, I'm gonna say, two teenagers. I didn't really decide on an age, but I would say anywhere from like 16 to 21. Two boys, 16 to 21. And they're in an abandoned house that, clearly nobody cleaned out in any way, shape, or form after the last owner was there. So Jimmy is in a room that's like filled with books. I'm kind of thinking like a study. And Austin is in a room that's filled with not only dolls, but like all types of figurines. I said that there were like small taxidermy or possibly taxidermied rodents, gnomes and goblins and other fairy-like folk, clowns with long limbs and emotional faces, and of course the classic porcelain doll. And so Jimmy like yells over, or Austin yells over to Jimmy, is like, you should come see this, and Jimmy's like, oh, you should come see this. And then Austin hears a feminine voice say hello, and he's like, Jimmy, is that you? And Jimmy's like, Jimmy doesn't respond, nor does the voice. And so Austin's like, we promised that we wouldn't try to trick each other, like we want to see like real ghosts, we don't want to just scare each other. So this is like a deal that they made going in. And so when Jimmy doesn't respond, or no, Jimmy finally responds when when Austin yells. And so he realizes that Jimmy's still like back in the other room. So he responds to the hello with hello. So he has this conversation with this voice, and then Jimmy ends up coming down to the room, and then they're both talking, and they're trying to figure out where this voice is coming from, because the voice says that Austin is staring right at her. So here's the story. This one has even more typos than the other ones, I think. Oh, I didn't give you a word count. My apologies. This sprint's word count was 544. Oh, hi, Ignatius. I was wondering if you would show up in this stream. Alright, I can't read through you, though. But I guess I'll let the folks see the cat, eh? You're very cute when you're being good. Yeah. Oh, you're making me push buttons, though. You're making me push buttons, though. Okay, it reads, the walls are lined with shelves, and the shelves are lined with dolls and figures of all sorts. You expect rooms like these to be porcelain dolls, but there was all sorts of odd things in here. Small rodents, perhaps taxidermy, they do look pretty real. Long-limbed, stuffed clowns with pointy hats and emotional faces. The classic porcelain dolls in frilly dresses with dead eyes. A surprising amount of gnomes and goblins and other small fairy-like folk. Oh my gosh, Iggy. I have to show you this. He just laid right down. What a little cutie. Hey, what a little cutie. Oh my gosh. You're a needy boy today. This isn't like you. Aww. Should I just read it without the words being there? I don't know. So you guys can see the boy? Or you can watch the boy while I read? Here. Oops. There. What a little cutie. Alright, where was I? Okay, perfect. Hey Jimmy, you should come in here. You love creepy figurines. I'll be there in a minute, but you should come in here. It's filled with old leather-bound books. Austin continued to explore the shelves, being careful not to touch anything. He would never understand abandoned houses with rooms filled with stuff. Why does nobody claim it? This house was filled to the brim, not in a hoarding kind of way. It's all organized and clearly holds meaning, very curated and collection-like. And other than the years of dust buildup, it could be considered tidy, if not clean. Ow, did that hurt? Hello? It sounded feminine. Jimmy, was that you? Silence. Jimmy, we promised we wouldn't trick each other while we're here. We want to see real ghosts, not just get scared. Silence. Jimmy! What? Jimmy's voice came from down the hallway, the same place it had come from before. Hello? My name is Lucy. What's yours? Austin slowly turned, trying to figure out where the voice was coming from. Austin. He listened closely for the next response, trying to pinpoint the direction. That's a funny name. Still further to his left, he turned a little more. What makes it funny? Well, I've just never heard it before, I guess. Austin ends up facing the corner furthest from the door. Hey, Lucy. Where are you? You're looking right at me, silly. Are you a doll? No, I'm a little girl. What would make you ask that? I'm having trouble finding you. Austin hears footsteps coming down the hallway and spins, his heart racing, hoping it's just Jimmy. Jimmy rounds the corner and Austin lets out a deep sigh. Whoa, this is a cool room. Hello. Who was that? My name is Lucy. What's yours? I'm Jimmy. He hesitated, not knowing where the girl's voice was coming from. You could see Austin wasn't moving his lips, and as far as he knew, Austin couldn't throw his voice, nor imitate a girl so well. I'm in the corner. Austin says he can't find me. Oh, well, let me see if I can. Can you tell me what color your hair is? It's blonde, and I have green eyes. Jimmy walks to the corner where Austin had been staring. He looks closely at each shelf. There are 3 dolls with blonde hair and green eyes. Hey, Lucy, my favorite color is red. What's yours? Oh, I love purple. Jimmy finds a doll with blonde hair, green eyes, and a purple dress. Lucy, may I have a hug? Of course you can. Jimmy picks up the doll and that he thinks might be Lucy and gives it a hug. Thank you, Lucy. You're welcome. Austin tugs at Jimmy's sleeve and motions with his head subtly to the door. We'll be right back, Lucy. No idea where that's going. I do have the idea that, like, there are a lot of, like, souls trapped inside dolls and things in there. Not really sure who did it or why, but that's kind of the thought, if this is one that I return to. But I think that's it for today's stream or video, so I hope you guys got some writing done, or some other stuff. If you do end up using these prompts, I would love to hear about the stories that you tell, which ones sparked it. Again, you can find the prompts down in the description. Yeah, I think that's it. This was fun. I'm planning on doing prompts based on like each of the seasons for now. So the next one, we should do some winter prompts, and I'll do a live write-in for that as well. If you're looking for more kind of like writing vlog content, the Inktober vlogs are where it's at. But you might also enjoy the editing or revising videos of the my flash fiction from over a decade ago. If you are into kind of like looking at the words and figuring out how to make them better. Yeah, I think that's it. So I hope you guys had fun. I had a blast. Catch you next time. Bye!